I was the first female bowler was number 1. So really enjoyed that moment. Got that golden arm band also from ICC. But at the same time, it's a lot of responsibility.
When it comes to cricket, India is unstoppable.
I'm not being facetious when I say this, but I actually prefer watching women's cricket now. When I watch women's cricket, there's a certain freshness to it.
Yeah, I do feel proud that women's cricket is progressing, and I'm very confident that it will keep progressing from now.
It's getting there. It's getting there. I think without the women's IPL, or should I say, when the women's IPL happens, it will reach another level.
The way the team has transformed, it definitely shows that there is a lot of scope of forming a very strong side in the coming years.
The skill levels are just fascinating when you see that. It's like, wow, I mean, how did we miss all this or all these years?
Definitely, the dream has just begun. The dream is to win the World Cup for India. When you talk about cricket in India, I think the first city which comes to mind is Mumbai. You know, there are so many cricketers who have come up from here, and you know, it has a legacy of producing amazing cricketers, and I am one of them. But it's so nice to see, you know, whichever street you go out there, we call it gullies in India, you'll find someone or the other with a bat, and it's very creative, you know, they'll make anything a stumps.
Cricket have huge influence in our society, and that's the beauty about this thing. And I think you have to give a lot of credit to BCCI also, where they improve infrastructure, they bring a lot of grassroots level things, television things, make sure that cricketer get a lot of matches, bilateral series, World Cup.
The first bat was given to me by my grandfather when I was at the age of 3, and it was a plastic bat. It was brown in color. You know, normally for an Indian girl, the gift your grandfather would give you would be a Barbie doll or a kitchen set. But for me, it was completely different because I love cricket and he knew it. So, you know, that was such a nice thing from him. I think from there, it kind of kicked off for me.
Well, Chakda is a very small place. It's kind of village. It's quite away from the city, and you have to go by local train from here to Chakda. And those days, you know, transport was not up to the mark. We used to rely on a local train because there was no training facilities available in Chakda. So I have to come to Calcutta. Those days we used to call Calcutta. Now is Kolkata.
If it was not for my parents who supported me, I don't think I would be where I am today, because at that time still things in India were not as open as they are today.
Women's cricket has made a lot of progress, and we are getting so many good young women cricketers now, and many of the families are supporting their kids to try and pursue cricket as their career, which wasn't the case in the past.
For my grandparents, it was very difficult to process that their granddaughter was getting into sport, and a sport where it's a rough sport, and none of my cousins are into sport, none. So I'm the only odd person out in the family to choose a profession, such an unconventional profession back in those days for a woman, for a girl to take up. So my father had to let go his promotion in the bank, because then we had to shift base if he gets promotion elsewhere out of Hyderabad. My mother, who was working woman, had to let go her career to sort of give opportunity to her daughter to create an identity of her own. If not for the support of both my parents, I wouldn't be here where I am.
I think in my family, only my grandma was a person who used to support me a lot. You know, you always found somebody in a house, and everybody is odd people on one side and one person will be there in your side. I think the grandma was always in my side. She believed that women should take something their own way. It should not be only study and go get married. You need to create your own identity.
Yeah, I still remember the first time I went for my cricket selection. It was at Shivaji Park. So immediately I put on my whites, packed my kit bag. My dad got me in the car, came down Shivaji Park. I am holding my dad's hand, like this tiny little girl, like I was 8 years old, okay? So my dad holding my hand, and in the other hand, he's holding my kit bag. And I walked in, and the moment I came for the selection, the girls kind of laughed a little. Like they didn't want to show it, but it was kind of obvious. They just giggled a little bit because they were like 19, 20, and I was like this 8-year-old girl over there going out and playing.
So I got 2 complimentary tickets from my school, and I begged to my dad. I said, please come with me. I don't know how to go to Eden Garden, where to sit. So we just entered to the main place where the Eden Garden clubhouse was there. And there was one organization person was standing. He said, you want to be in a ball girl, na? Come inside, your t-shirt they are going to sell. I said, no, I'm not a ball girl. No, I know your name is there. I think something was wrong. So my dad said, you go, I will be here. After the match, I'm going to pick you from here. I said, okay. I go there as a stranger kind of thing. I go enter and see a lot of young girls are sitting in a boundary line. I understood that they're taking those ball girls. I sat there, watched entire game. And when I saw that, Belinda Clark won the trophy, taking a victory lap, that day I realized, that's it. This is I'm going to do. I'm going to play these sports professionally, and one day I'm going to represent my country. That is how my dream started.
See, my dad was in Air Force, so he was an ex-serviceman, and because of dad's background, he was very strict in terms of timing. He was very punctual, and he still is. So he insisted that I tag along with my brother to his academy in the mornings. So I would just carry my homework, open my eyes in the ground and do my math homework, and my brother used to play cricket. That is how I was introduced to the sport, and my first impression of that sport was it was only meant for boys, because the academy was full of boys. I didn't happen to see not even a single girl. My brother's coach, Jyoti Prasad, he used to watch me every day. He said, I used to watch you as a kid every day, 6 a.m. you would come sharp to the academy, and I thought, let me see how the girl plays. So one day he said, pick up the bat, let me throw you a few tennis balls. I happened to probably impress the coach better than my brother, and he told my father to invest his energy and time and money into turning his daughter as a cricketer than his son.
Talent natural है इसमें. अगर प्रॉपर ढंग से ट्रेनिंग हो गई, प्रोफेशनल खेलने के चांस हैं.
पैर छूले.
मैं मिताली की बात कर रहा हूँ.
Growing up, being a Mumbai cricketer, one name is for sure, that's Sachin Tendulkar. I think, at that time I used to not like watching cricket a lot. But the thing was, in my family, everyone was so crazy, and the moment Sachin Tendulkar used to come to bat, leave everything, come here and watch the game. The moment he gets out, TV is off, that's it.
Sachin played a big role in my career, and big influence, you can say, because growing up with him, he was a role model for all of us as youngsters. And then we start following cricket, and we become a mad, and wherever cricket is to play, we just keep watching and watching and watching.
My first coach, that is Sampath Kumar, he was a big fan of Kapil Dev. So he's he would tell me you have to be like Kapil Dev, you have to bowl and bat like him. So I started as an all-rounder. I used to be a fast bowler, and then I would bat as a top order bat, as an opening batsman.
So the challenges that I faced growing up, we didn't know women's cricket existed. So for a girl playing cricket, that was very rare. So I think I didn't have a place to practice. So I used to practice with my brothers. And I would say the other challenges we face as girls is we always play in these maidans and stuff like that. So there was always an issue for the washrooms and stuff like that. So if you're playing over here, sometimes the washrooms used to be really far, like a 10-minute walk, I think. But now the good thing is now times have changed. People actually treat women's cricket as equal as men's cricket. I used to be the only girl, 300, 400 boys. But now seeing other girls take up the sport, pick up, and playing cricket and competing with the boys, I think that is a treat to watch.
So from there onwards, it was quite difficult coming, taking early morning train, particularly in winter. 5 o'clock is pitch dark, you are traveling alone most of the time. So a lot of people in a train, they used to ask me, where are you going, from what? And when I used to say I'm going to go there and do my cricket training, they used to laugh, they used to do a lot of sarcasm, and my coach was very strict. If I late for 1 minute, he used to say, get out from here, you can't do the practice. And it was pretty expensive also, as coming from middle class family, getting money, spending extra money on the cricket. So it was big challenge for my family, and my life was pretty much different circle.
Stepping out of the house, the challenge that again I had to face as a cricketer was from people. When we used to travel, a lot of them would associate, when they look at the kit bags, they would associate it with a soccer team or a hockey team. So when we would tell them that, no, we are going for a cricket tournament, their reaction would be of, oh, girls play cricket. I didn't feel insulted, but I felt weird for the way people reacted to it, because these things, yes, for a moment it would hurt, or sometimes I would wonder what sort of comments are these, what sort of question, but over the years then I realized it could be because of the lack of awareness of knowing that girls could also play cricket, and to change that perception it took a long time.
I still remember the first time where I'd got a call. So I was sleeping, but I was not getting sleep, like pretending to be sleeping, and my dad's phone rang, and my dad's like, hello, like this, and then he just started crying. So I knew, okay, fine, dude, it's happened, it's finally happened. And one of the coaches had called up and he said, congratulations that, your daughter's gotten selected to play for India. And I woke up over there, saw my mom and dad both cry. I still remember, like, a full flashback came in my mind, that small young girl holding her dad's hand, dad holding the kit bag in the other hand, walking, the sacrifices, the efforts, the hard work, the ups and downs, everything made sense.
That was ultimate goal for me, to represent my country, wanted to play for my country. So definitely that was very emotional moment in my career. And when I received my first India cap and my India jersey, I think I was, for 5 minutes I was absolutely spellbound. I could not talk, and I just sat down and said, yes, I achieved that. So yeah, it was very special for me.
More than the happiness of wearing the jersey, there was a load of expectation on my shoulders, and those days we didn't have the ritual of handing over of the debut cap, so I didn't have that. I didn't have to go through that, but maybe in a way God made up to it, because in the last 5-6 years I've given a lot of India caps to the girls, but each time I gave them, I've enjoyed that ceremony, because it's a huge honor to sort of hand over the cap. In a way you're bringing in talent into the side. I
remember the point I felt that, okay, women's cricket has, made a mark in India was the time where I would say in 2017, where India reached the finals at Lord's, and I think we lost by some 9 runs or something. I think that was the turning point for me personally. I might be wrong, but for me, I think that was when women's cricket in India became a huge thing. And when somebody recognizes you for, doing well out there, it's a good feeling, and especially when nobody used to do it at once, and now people actually, when you walk out on the street, they're like, oh, you're Jemimah Rodrigues, I love your batting. I think that's I know it's a very silly thing, but I really feel happy when people come up to me and do that. So yeah, I think things have shifted massively, and it's only going to get better from here.
Any girls, they can come and participate, and if they are talented, they can participate. There's no doubt about that. But thing is the culture. We have different culture. We have a lot of barriers. I do respect all those things, because that's the beauty about our country. You cannot change that. We have a lot of good things in our society, our cultures. But at the same time, after 2017 World Cup, where that buzz create in our country nowadays, all those young girls, they want to participate, they want to play these sports professionally, and they want to take these sports professionally and want to represent country. But at the same time, whenever that women's IPL will happen, I think that will be the ice on a cake, because that's going to be definitely improve women's cricket standard, women's cricket facilities.
We've got connections to academies all around the country. We've got our own academies, and we have more and more girls coming through wanting to play, more and more women's cricket teams coming to play, and so there's some real stars coming through, and they're getting better development, which means they're going to be better hitters, they're going to be faster bowlers, it's going to be a more exciting product. So yes, we're on a pathway. Women's IPL will massively help take it to another level, and then I think you'll see all those stories coming through of girls across India sort of going against the norm to play this amazing sport and succeed in it.
With the women's IPL announced next year, clearly things are going to change big time for women's cricket, and it is the time for any girl to take up the sport as a profession, because one is it is viable, there is money involved in it, and now it's no more in obscurity. There's so much attached to women's cricket. There is fame, there is glory. With social media, everything is amplified. The more you televise it, many girls now have a women role model, which I probably didn't have when I started in the 90s, because in those years, sport was more for men and not for women.
Male or female Indian cricketers just have such great style and grace in the way they play, and I think they have such a opportunity and a responsibility to be role models for the next generations. Certainly I think they have a great platform now to build from, and being role models comes with a nice responsibility to try and influence the next generation and inspire them.
They never envisaged that Indian women would actually be in whites or in colours playing cricket. Not only playing cricket, but playing outstanding cricket. I am so delighted, for girls like Mithali Raj, Jhulan Goswami. They've done wonders for Indian cricket, and may Indians women cricket flourish.
We've come a long way in promoting women's cricket and women's sport for that reason. Especially in India now, we have seen so many documentaries, whether it's Saina Nehwal, Mary Kom, Mithali Raj and Jhulan Goswami. Their movies are coming out. We all are very excited. Maybe I'll be there in one of the scenes. So, no, I'm just kidding. But we're very excited because not many know their journey and their story, and it'll be so nice to know how they went by, they fought their battles, they got to the level they are, and they are the legends they are today.
Having a biopic made is a different kind of an experience, honestly, because it's not an everyday thing that you come across somebody saying we want to make a biopic on your journey as a cricketer. So the first time when they reached out to me, I thought somebody's playing a prank, because why would somebody want a women cricketer's journey? So I thought it was an opportunity for me to put across the struggles, the challenges of just not about my journey as a cricketer, but also about people or the players that I've played along in all these years, to get it into on the big screen where people can actually know what it was for women's cricket or women cricketers way back, and then where they see the sport today.
My story is going to be televised. It's going to be come in a silver screen. I never thought about it, but yeah, it was something different. When I got that offer, initially I got hesitate, but then I realized if this movie can motivate young girls and boys to play sports, I think that will be the huge thing for me.
When it comes to cricket, India is unstoppable. The way they've played, the brand of cricket that they've played in the longest format, like the Test cricket or the one-dayers, I think they are growing in stature. And as far as women's cricket is concerned, yes, we definitely need a trophy in our cabin, but the way the team has transformed, it definitely shows that there is a lot of scope of forming a very strong side in the coming years?
Yeah, I think my journey has not been smooth. It's been like ups and downs from the time I've started playing. But I strongly believe that it's, you know, these moments that actually teach you a lot. Like stepping in as a 17-year-old girl, then the limelight, the expectations, things like that. It's not been easy. It's been a journey, and I'd say I'm still, you know, kind of learning how to go about and go forth with that, how to balance both the expectations as well as, you know, to enjoy what I'm doing.
I think it's quite difficult to say. You know, I'm not a person who predict the future, but I can guess. I think where Indian cricket is going on at this moment in top level, I think they are in safe hand. They are going, improving strength to strength.
My ultimate dream, definitely my first dream would be, you know, winning the World Cup for India. I think that is one thing that all of us have been dreaming from a long time, and I don't know, I just feel it's just a matter of time before that happens for the Indian women's cricket team. And also my dream for not just Indian women's cricket, but all over the world would be, you know, that just girls go out there and just play the sport because they love playing the sport, and just to see that standard going up and up and seeing many more women participate, I think that will be a very pleasing sight when, you know, where I am around 70, 80 years old, I'm like, I'll be there no, I won't be in a wheelchair, sorry, but I'll be over there and I'll be like, wow, women's cricket has come a long way.
If the girl is interested in sport, I think the parents should be brave enough to give her the opportunity. We are in a stage, in a generation where I think when we talk about women empowerment, it has to start from home, where you give opportunities, equal opportunity to your girl as well as to your daughter as well as to your son equally, because that's what my parents have done way back. You know, in a way it will help the girl to, as much as I have created my identity, she will find her ways to live a life of her own choice. And if the girl is interested, I think it's just the parents' I would say duty to sort of give an opportunity to allow her to grow her wings to fly one day.